Hi, I'm RuPaul Charles.
No, you're not. I'm RuPaul Charles.
But I'm RuPaul Charles. Hi, I'm Izzy G.
And I am RuPaul. And we star together in the new Netflix show,
AJ and the Queen.
But today we are Entertainment Tonight correspondents. I told you I wasn't strong enough to handle this, but you did it anyway.
You are strong enough. You stood up to those shady queens at the club.
That wasn't me, that was Ruby.
You are Ruby. Why was I the best person to play AJ?
You know, it had to do with energy. We saw a lot of kids for the role of AJ, and when I saw your audition tape, I thought, oh, this kid's got it. And then when I met you in person, the chemistry we have together was so perfect. I went, there is AJ. Oh, you're gonna do your moves now? How much are you like AJ?
She on the inside has a lot of personality like me, and she can be kind at times. She can be loving at times. She shows a lot of passion, different passions, but we do show a lot of passion.
But you're not a thug, are you?
No.
Because AJ, she's really, come on, she's a thug, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any qualities that are thuggish? I mean, have you ever had a fight at school or anything like that?
Not a fist fight, I'll just say that. Not a fist fight.
Who's little Miss Sunshine over here?
I'm his bodyguard.
AJ's character is very a butch little kid, right? But then at the end of the day, when you'd be ready to go home, you'd let your hair down and you were a girl dressed in pink and you'd have sparkly things all over.
Yeah, so I got a Barbie van for Christmas. One of our producers got it for me. And when our costume designer, she said, "Who's that for?" And our producer goes, "Izzy." And she's like, "Oh, right, I forgot she was such a girly girl." And I'm like, wow, that happened.
Yeah, no,
I'm good at my job.
You are good at your job, and because you sell the character of AJ so well, AJ is a real thug, but as the episodes go on, you see that there is a heart there and that this character has learned to protect her vulnerability with being a tough person.
Bitch! You play Ruby Red in AJ and the Queen, and you guys seem a lot alike. How would you say she's different from you?
I would say that Ruby Red is more gullible than RuPaul is. Ruby Red falls for a smooth-talking, good-looking con artist. Yeah. I may be tempted to fall for a good-looking con artist, but RuPaul would probably not.
Why did it take you so long for you to star in your own TV show on Netflix?
That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. I've been looking for the perfect vehicle, perfect role to do that with, and this just happened to be the one. And you're very young. What happens is timing is everything, but you got to stay in the game long enough for your number to come up. You're very fortunate right out of the bat. You've got this great big show on Netflix. To sustain a career for a very long time, you have to pace yourself, but you also have to stay interested in doing the work.
How did you have this idea for the show?
Well, I met with Michael Patrick King and we wanted to work together. So within 15 minutes of our meeting, he asked me what the emerging audience on Drag Race was. And I said, well, 13-year-old suburban girls are the emerging audience. And then we talked some more, and he had a poster from a movie that I love called Sullivan's Travels. And I said, I love that movie. He said, I love that movie. So there we had the idea, because Sullivan's Travels is a picture about two people who go on the road together. So we mixed the idea of a 13-year-old and a road picture together, and that's how we got AJ and the Queen. Of course, AJ in this case is only 10 years old. Okay, I've got a question for you. How much did you know about RuPaul before you got cast in AJ and the Queen?
I actually didn't know a lot. I knew about your music and I knew what you looked like. I knew what you looked like in drag.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch your show.
Uh-huh.
But that's basically all I knew about RuPaul Charles.
And to be fair, when we met, you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
So I think at that point, Drag Race had been on the air for 9 years or something like that. So, you know, that's an easy pass,
Yeah.
being 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get into drag?
Well, you know, we could probably do it. I would get there at 5 o'clock in the morning on drag days. 5 o'clock and we'd start. I think I was on set sometimes at 10 o'clock to start filming. But you know, we could do it in 3.5. We could do it. Do I hear 2.5?
Do I hear 1.5 hours?
Yeah, you got it. I can meet that challenge.
Yeah!
I won't look that great, but I can meet that challenge.
A minute!
Did you ever get into drag while you were there?
Like you say, you were born naked and the rest is drag.
Hello.
Hello. But all the time on set, I was
Yeah.
in drag.
You were the whole time.
I'm a drag king on set.
What did you learn about me on the set? Because we're together the whole time, side by side, for 6 months, learning lines, you telling me stories about your friends, and you wanting to play that pity pat game. Every day there was a new type of hand jive game that I learned. So what did you learn about me on the set?
I learned that you have an amazing memory, let's just say that. Being able to memorize all of those lines, and also that you are powerful, that you are strong, that you are amazing, that you are helpful, not just to me, but to everybody on set. You were very helpful to everybody. You were so kind. You never, ever, ever made anybody feel degraded or like they were nothing. Even if they did feel like they were nothing, you made them feel like they were everything. And you were just the best person that could have been on set for everybody.
That's very kind. Thank you very much. It's a very nice thing to say. I love that.
What did you learn from me on set?
Well, I learned from you that it's always important to be kind at all times because we work long hours, sometimes 15, 16, even longer. You know, the night that I did the wet t-shirt contest, I don't know what time you went home, but I think I got home at 2:30 in the morning and I had to shoot a commercial the next day. But I learned from you to not take it all too seriously. Because if I flubbed a line, or if anyone flubbed a line, you would always say, it's okay.
You're doing good.
You're doing good.
Yeah, that was like our inside joke on set. You're doing good.
But it's great advice. And it's important to remember that because what we're doing with the show is hopefully entertaining people and making them think and giving them something to laugh about and to be grateful about. And so for us to do that work, we have to remember those things and to not be so hard on ourselves. So I learned that from you, and I loved going to work every day and being reminded that this is such a lovely job to have and that we're very fortunate to have it. What was your favorite thing about filming the show?
My all-time favorite thing about shooting the show was that I would be able to be part of this crazy adventure and that I would be able to meet amazing people. But the adventure from the beginning all the way to the end was something that you would stick for.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't just abandon immediately. It wouldn't be just like, oh, a pass.
Yeah.
I felt so connected when I saw the script. I was just laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. Just from the 3 pages that I got, I couldn't stop laughing. It was...
Well, you could tell from your audition tape because you were so invested in it and you were able to bring something to the audition that no one else had. There was a sort of a roughness and a playfulness, and you couldn't help but fall in love with this character with your interpretation of it. You know, my favorite thing about coming to work every day was you and the fun we had, because we had a lot of fun. And then our natural chemistry together, and that was present for the audition that we did together. Our natural chemistry, we feel so good together. And then of course, being able to work with Michael Patrick King. Now, you're only 11 years old now, but Michael Patrick King has a long history, very successful history in writing and producing and directing. And so to work with someone who is so talented, so smart, so passionate. He laughs, he cries, he screams, he's there, which gives us, everyone who works with him, permission to do the same thing, and it's so freeing to do that. So those are my favorite things. And also, we got to film on the same sound stage as Judy Garland's A Star Is Born, and we got to film on the same
that was
sound.
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The same sound stage as Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Two great movies that were filmed on Stage 21, where we made our home.
That's showbiz, kiddo. They can't all be Diana Ross at the Felt Forum.
Who's Diana Ross?
How dare you?
For season 2, because we're probably going to do one, we're going to have to talk to Mrs. or Mr. Netflix about that. What would you think season 2 would look like?
Well, okay. AJ and the Queen are about two unlikely people who cross the United States of America and become very good friends. I love the element that we are traveling. I'd love for us to continue to travel. Maybe AJ and the Queen go to Europe. Maybe AJ and the Queen go to outer space. Or maybe AJ and the Queen go to Mexico.
Mexico.
Enchiladas! But I like crispy tacos. Do you like soft tacos or crispy tacos?
Crispy.
Yeah,
Crispy.
It's all about the crunch.
Yeah.
Okay, so if AJ and the Queen were to go to season 2, what would you like to see happen?
I would like to see AJ bail Robert out of jail. I want to see that.
Wait a minute, that doesn't happen in this one? Wait a minute, let me remember. Does that happen in this
No.
one? I don't go to jail.
You don't go to jail.
Do you go to jail?
Who goes to jail?
Does anybody go to jail in this series?
Yes, they do.
They do?
They do.
Okay, I don't remember,
They do.
but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I'll take your word for it. AJ and the Queen break out of prison.
AJ and the Queen break out of prison.
That's a brilliant idea. But you know, you've changed a lot. You know, when we started, you were 10, now you're 11, and that's the time of a human's life where they grow up a lot. Do you think it would take place years later, or it would take place where it left off?
I would think that in the second season you see Ruby get arrested, and then like a couple of weeks later, AJ would bail Ruby out of jail.
Right, right.
And then they'd escape to Washington D.C.
and take over.
and take over the White House.
Do you feel 11? Do you feel 10? How do you feel? Do you feel older?
I feel like it's a new year. I feel like it's 2020. Yes, I do feel more mature, but I also feel like I'm still like 10, where I still play and I still
You still
do
have fun.
things that a 10-year-old would do.
Sure. Because I would see you at the ADR where we go and put in more vocals to the footage. And when you watch the footage from AJ and the Queen, do you think, oh my goodness, look how much younger I look there?
Not really. I just think how proud this is and how proud I am, and that we worked our butts off to this, that we practiced and we learned and we danced and we had monologues, and it was just a proud moment.
This was so much fun. We've got to do this more often.
Really?
I think
we
we've got a
should.
talk show here.
I don't disagree.
All right, well, let's sign off.
All right.
For Entertainment Tonight, I'm RuPaul,
I'm Izzy G.
and we want you to go and watch Netflix's new series, AJ and the Queen. Thank you, Izzy G.
Thank you, RuPaul Charles.